stars. The year is 2009, and wow, Rebecca English had a very different stance on Kate Middleton and her family. Now we know that Kensington and Buckingham Palaces regularly get unflattering news stories scrubbed from the internet, just like when Carol Middleton allegedly had a car crash head on in the Berkshires in March 2024. But here's an oldie but a goodie. October 7th, 2009, Kate Middleton's uncle exposed as a substance selling millionaire who bragged about links with the royals. Kate Middleton's uncle exposed as a blank dealing millionaire who bragged about links with royals. Prince William was last night forced to cut ties with Kate Middleton's uncle after he was filmed giving hard substances to an undercover reporter. So classy. And this is the man that wants to talk slick about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle on the regular. Well, I guess he's trying to claw his way back into the good graces of the current royal family. But back in the day, woo, the block was a little hot. He was left with little option but to disown Gary Goldsmith, only brother of Kate's mama, Carol, lately of the Royal Ascot gathering, sucking up to William. Everything's fine, nothing went wrong, and that wasn't a scar on Kate's forehead. Goldsmith, only brother of Kate's mother, Carol, has made lurid boasts about his relationship with the royal family and continues to. Goldsmith, 44 at the time, bragged about a holiday William and his niece had taken at his £5 million villa on Ibiza before chopping up lines of powder and offering to set the journalist up with high-class 304s. Wow! He claimed the couple were coming to his villa again next month and that they would marry next year. He also revealed intimate details about their private life, including how William openly discussed Kate's figure at a family dinner. Wow. He claimed Kate is so close to senior royals that she was invited to Sandringham while the prince was away one Christmas and was taught to shoot by Prince Philip. Kate and the prince, who have been dating for 8 years, non-exclusively, stayed with Balding Goldsmith at La Maison de Bang Bang. What a classy name! Crude French slang for the House of Smegs on the island in 2006. So how did Gary Goldsmith make his fortune exactly? Was it internet business, right? Software and databases, or was that a euphemism for something else that gets sold via the internet or arranged via the internet? Just curious for you UK experts and journalists. How about that? Rebecca English, we'd love an update on this article. The multimillionaire property developer, who has a Muse house in London but spends around 6 months of the year in Spain, was present during the whole of their week-long stay in the 4-bedroom house and even arranged a yacht for their use. Oh, a yacht. Another word that gets thrown at Meghan Markle regularly by derangers. But here it is in black and white in the Daily Fail. Arranged a yacht for their use. They have also met up with him in England, including several dinners at the Middleton family home in Bucklebury, Berkshire. One hears that the Middletons don't live in that home anymore, that they're renting it out. Shh, you didn't hear that from me. The revelations made in yesterday's News of the World have left the Middletons, who are frequent visitors to his Spanish villa. Imagine visiting a relative who called his house of Smegs. What? We already know about the DV charges against Uncle Gary. I would guess he's not exactly a pillar of the community or of morality, but yet people just can't shut up about everybody in Meghan Markle's family. And this is the uncle. This is the one who had the nerve to be on a reality show while Kate Middleton was disappeared for 6 months, ill, struggling with cancer, abdominal surgery, perhaps even facial surgery from what it looked like. The revelations made in yesterday's News of the World have left the Middletons, who are frequent visitors to his Spanish villa, reeling with embarrassment and sparked widespread concern in the royal household, I'll say. Sources say the Queen has been informed, while the monarch is said to be sympathetic to the fact that, in this day and age, anyone connected with the royal family is liable to exposure in the newspapers. The story raises serious security concerns as Goldsmith's hedonistic lifestyle has been something of an open secret in family circles. One source yesterday described him as an accident waiting to happen, while Carol Middleton has herself spoken to friends about her brother being unreliable and a waste of space. Friends say that while William, who is incredibly close to Kate and her family, including parents Michael and Carol, stands by them wholeheartedly, he will have no choice but to cut all ties with Goldsmith. The prince was yesterday holed up at Highgrove, his father's Gloucestershire estate, with his girlfriend, his father, and stepmother, the Duchess of Cornwall, where they discussed the scandal. However, he was due to return to RAF Shawbury in Shropshire, where he is training to become a search and rescue pilot, last night. Wow, does anyone edit this paper? A friend said, "He will be livid about this and very upset. He is incredibly protective of Kate and her family and will always stand by them. Gary Goldsmith, however, is a very different matter." Clarence House refused to comment on the story, but sources said even if the prince had planned to holiday there next month, which is unlikely because of his work commitments, any trip would be cancelled. The News of the World yesterday told how it had sent 2 undercover fake reporters, including including the notorious fake sheik Majer Mahmoud, whose investigations have humiliated other members of the royal family, including the Countess of Wessex and Prince Michael of Kent. Yeah, they were trying to hustle up some cash for access. A fake sheik. I love it. You use people's racism against them to set them up and gotcha, especially with recordings. You know how toxic British media like to do. The News of the World yesterday told how it had sent 2 undercover reporters to Ibiza, posing as business contacts. They were invited to his villa in Cala Jondal on the south of the island after meeting with him at a night spot. That's where you do business, a night spot. Surrounded by woodland, the house is protected from prying eyes by a large, whitewashed wall, but there is no mistaking who lives there. A 6-foot-high mural daubed on the outside reads, "It's Gary's world! You just live in it!" That sounds like what you call grandiosity, which I understand is a symptom of blank abuse. Portly Goldsmith is a larger-than-life character with his initials GG tattooed on his right shoulder, lest he forget who he is and how to return home. He describes himself as a London boy done good, and says the slogan outside his house is based on a comment made by Sammy Davies Jr. Oh, they mean Sammy Davis Jr. Toxic British media. You need to hire an editor. Made by Sammy Davis Jr. about Frank Sinatra and is also tattooed on his body. London boy done good, I guess, is one of his tattoos. Crazy. The newspaper claimed he smoked leaf with his girlfriend, a 26-year-old former lap dancer. Oh, wow, classy, called Antonia, and gave one of the reporters a small bag of blank. During a second meeting, he spoke extensively about substances and claimed he could set up regular blank deliveries both in Ibiza and
"You need me as a friend. I have a company that delivers to your door,"
he said, before putting the reporter in touch with his dealer, a Scottish woman named Sharon. He also gave them the number of 16 who arranged £600 a night Brazilian 304s. On a second visit to La Maison de Bang Bang, Goldsmith was also covertly filmed cutting up what appeared to be blank with a €100 note on a kitchen worktop, and gave a wrap of the substance to the reporters, as well as a handful of blanks believed to be E. He also bragged about William's visit to Ibiza, describing him as
lovely
and talking about his group of
MI6 bodyguards. My first words to Prince William were, "Oi, you effer, did you break my glass pyramids?" He and a pal had been throwing balls around and broke all these ornamental pyramids I had. My friends were here teaching William how to mix music. It was brilliant. They told him he needs a shout. Catchphrase. "The king's in the house, the king's in the house." He's a very friendly guy.
During another exchange, he told how William was made to pay a forfeit, wearing a napkin on his head after talking about Kate's figure. He said,
"They were talking about boobs at the time around the table at my sister's house. William said that more than a handful is a waste. He had to wear the hanky of shame as a forfeit. I made him put on a napkin. Such good British fun. He's a sport."
He also claimed his niece had told him about a shooting trip she went on with the royal family at Sandringham, saying,
"Kate told us that Prince Philip had taught her to shoot when William was away one Christmas. She was invited over. Yes, a commoner. My niece. Can you believe it? Hand me that mirror. I need to prepare the next course."
Goldsmith repeatedly boasted about his relationship with his niece. During a visit to a restaurant, he claimed she would be bringing William to stay with her at the villa next month. He said,
"My niece is Kate Middleton. I'll be bloodline to the royal family. Can you believe it?"
His girlfriend can then be heard interjecting,
"Yes, it's Kate Middleton who's getting married to William. So when Charles is king and then William is king, Kate will be queen and Gary will be the king and queen's uncle."
Asked whether a wedding was definitely on the cards, he said,
"I think so. They are talking about an announcement later on this year. Supposedly that's what's happening. I'll be giving her away. I'm going to up front. I want a speaking part."
He then joked that after the couple have wed, he will have access to Buckingham Palace, saying,
"I've got my own rooms, the Goldsmith wing. I'm going to be the Duke of Slough."
Ironically, Goldsmith warned the undercover reporter about the media. He said,
"When the press get you, they kill you. They don't know who I am. I'm under the radar."
Kate's mother, Carol, a former air hostess who has built up her own multi-million-dollar fortune through her company, which sells children's party goods over the internet, lives in a £1 million house in Berkshire with her husband, Michael. Well, not anymore. Mr. Middleton said yesterday,
We don't ever talk to the press, and the situation remains the same. We don't have any comment to make."
Mr. Middleton said yesterday,
"We don't ever talk to the press, and the situation remains the same. We don't have any comment to make."
Kate Middleton's family members, the famous television reality star, Gary Goldsmith, and he seems to always be involved in something illicit, whether it's a DV incident and trip to the court or engaging in business on foreign shores involving Class A substances and perhaps women who could use better employment opportunities. But I would love to hear what you think about how relatively gentle the toxic British media is with Uncle Gary while being non-stop fiends when it comes to Doria Ragland and the rest of Meghan Markle's relatives. I would think that Uncle Gary would be a much richer subject for news reporting with facts and incidents and, in fact, recordings than the good old Americans that happen to be the relatives of Princess Meghan. But let me know what you think.